you there? I'm here now. If I didn't know, there's always something new that catches me out, and there probably will be forever and ever and ever. And anyway, I'm here now. Thank you for bearing with me. I just managed to put a little notice onto the live chat. If you're letting me know that you can actually see me and that I'm here, that would be amazing. Otherwise, I'll just be talking to myself and my special guest here today. So I'm just checking the comments to make sure. Nobody said yet I'm here. Am I here? Please let me know. And hello. Hi Donna. Hi Diane. Hi Ross. I think you might be a new one. I've not maybe I have seen you before. I do apologize. I try and remember all the names, but it can be quite complicated. Hi Chandra. Am I in your car? Hi Emma, how are you doing? Hope you're okay. Hi Deb, so lovely to see you. Hi Karen, hi Cheryl. Oh, I remember Diddly Demo. Not that I know who that is, but I do remember that name from the other day. Who else is there? Got Lynn. Hi Lynn. And Sandra. And yeah, everybody. Excellent. Well, I have brought a special guest today, and I'm looking at her right now, and I so want you to guess who this special guest would be. It's alive. It's alive. It's featured in our Making Needle Felted Animals book, and it's not a chicken, but it's one of the animals in there. Who's gonna come on? Somebody just guess. Please guess first. I'm so excited by this. As you can tell, I'm as excited as a little child. I think it's one of today's. No, I haven't brought a butterfly. That would be, yeah, I could have done, but it's not. No, it's not a make of today. What's on your fox's head? It's a butterfly. We'll be making these today. They're so easy to make and really, really lovely. No needle felting involved in this one, but you could needle felt it, I suppose. Emma, do you actually know what I've brought with me? How would you know that? I haven't told anybody. Do you? No sheep. No, oh my goodness. Yeah, I brought a whole sheep in here. I could have brought one of the lambs that we have in the field next to where we live. But I don't think that. I don't think it's a very silent animal. In fact, I don't actually know what noises they make. So yeah, I don't think I've ever heard her make any noise. Oh yes, Romy is here today. That's true. My daughter is working here in the workshop because we're slightly down in people, and we're very busy. So you're not gonna guess this, are you? Somebody, come on. A ladybird. No, not a ladybird. And it's not in that book either. It's in the Making Needle Felted Animal book. That's where it is. You're never going to guess. I love it. Oh, do you want a clue? You want a clue? No. Okay, you really do want to know, don't you? Okay, it starts with a T. The animal starts, not a badger. Donna, I'm talking about a live animal. Something that's actually got a heartbeat here in this room other than me. A party mouse, no, not a butterfly. It's quite a large animal. It's quite large. Okay, close your eyes, everybody. I'm bringing her to you now. Da, 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 da. This is Totty, our tortoise, and she's in the book. She's a lot smaller than that in the book, and all I'm hoping is that she's not gonna, because that's really horrible when she does, and but she's had lots of those today already. So meet Totty, our tortoise. She's a bit cold. Normally she's still under a heat lamp, so she's not very lively at the moment, but she's quite amazing. Such amazing animals. Really lovely animals. We absolutely love her to bits. She normally has the whole run of our upstairs in the house, And she's quite, when we first got her, she literally fitted into the palm of our hand. We got her from a breeder in Portsmouth, and we've worked out, my daughter and I, she belongs to Romy, one of my daughters, and we've worked out today that she's 5 years old, so she can live up to 50 years. It's a Herman tortoise, and basically she just eats lettuce, the odd slice of apple, and yeah, more dandelion and lettuce, all green stuff. They've got a very simple diet, and she hasn't got a clue what we're on about with this whole lockout malacca. So I'm leaving her here, and I just see. In fact, I'll leave her here for a minute. There, see where she wants to go. Make those needles, stuck them right in there so she can't hurt herself. There. Oh, you've got a redfoot tortoise, Jacob. Oh, that's nice. I have no idea what a redfoot is. A turkey. Emma, did you actually get a brought a turkey in? Oh dear. Oh no, this is not a felted animal. This is actually the real thing. And when I needle felted her in the book here. I have to show her to you. There. This is not bad, right? Not too bad, the comparison. When I needle felted her, this one actually, we didn't have her, but we went to Barcelona a few years ago, and I saw these little tortoises that were being sold, and I was so tempted to bring one back, and my husband said, you can't do this, you're going to get locked up in prison. I said, she fit nicely into my pocket. And he said, don't do it, because my daughter, Romy, she desperately wanted one of these, and I thought, oh, this would be so easy to take them back. And he said, that's not right, you can't do that. Those poor tortoises, they're not bred properly, and they're not looked after well. So, okay, I finally succumbed to it. And then when we got back, I looked up where we could buy actually a tortoise that had all the papers and was bred properly by an approved breeder. And here is Totty. And the story that I will tell you very quickly is that we lost Totty about 2 years ago. We put her, she hangs out in the garden, and they're actually masters of escape, and they're also really fast, and they're really great at digging. So just to set the scene, and she was outside in her confined space, and then she wasn't there anymore at the end of the summer 2 years ago, and she was way too young to be hibernating, so she hasn't actually hibernated a single winter yet because she's too young. And she was half the size of what she's now, and we were absolutely in tears, and we had posters out everywhere saying, if you see a tortoise, it's ours, ring us. And of course nothing happened, and we had one of the hardest winters. I don't remember, 2 years ago we had this really hard winter with lots of snow, lots of really cold days, and lots of minus, and we thought, well, this is it, we've lost her, and she's dead. And then in the spring, my youngest daughter, she went into the garden to do a bit of tidying up, and she came running in and she said, Mom, I found Totty. And I thought, oh, she's just found the shell and nothing left in it. And there she was, she found Totty. Totty had been in our garden all along, hibernating, digging herself under, and she was absolutely ravenous. And this was 4 or 5 months later, and we were in the news. We even made it into some benign, unimportant page in the, I think it was the Daily Mail, with a 2-liner that Totty had been found. And there she is. So she has a story to tell. We mark her on the back with a little red spot in case she does run away, so we know it's ours. Because it was quite amazing when we said we lost our tortoise. There were lots of people who said, yeah, we lost our tortoise too. And we thought, oh my God, maybe they find their tortoise and then it's actually our tortoise. So we're marking her. And I'm going to put her into a box now so she can watch. And let's talk about some needle felting. Hi, Pauline. Nice to see you too. Oh, I've got my middle daughter watching as well. Hello, Tomke. Nice to see you. You were fast asleep this morning. Oh, no, I wouldn't bring a tarantula, Emma. I hate spiders. It's the one animal I can't cope with. I would never bring a tarantula in. Oh dear. Anyway, ooh, this is gonna disappear. So if anybody's watching this later, you will not see any of the comments that I'm referring to, because that's what a live stream is like. It stays on YouTube, but without the written comments that you can see there. So today I want to make with you bees and ladybirds and butterflies. There you go. So these butterflies are really simple to make. They're not needle felted, as I said, so that I'll leave that until the very end. However, the bee and the ladybird, they're both needle felted. Now you can make them as small or as big as you want to. We've actually got our newsletter. I don't know if does anybody ever get our newsletters? We send them electronically, but we also send them in orders. And on the back of the newsletter, there's always a free tutorial. And this month, it's for a ladybird. Little ladybird like this, very simple, nothing complicated about it. And then you can use our magic no-sew brooch pins, which I've brought here. There you go. Love these. There they are. They look a little bit like a safety pin, but and you could use them as a safety pin, I suppose, but they're not a safety pin. They are actually, there, come really close to you, they're actually coilless. And because they don't have that swirly bit here, you can push them into your make like that, and then you swivel that bit around, and that makes a really secure safety pin, brooch pin, and you can take it out again as well if you need to. There you go. So in, swivel it all the way around, there, and then you've got a really secure brooch back. So I will show you how to make these. For the ladybirds, as you can imagine, you need only 2 colors. And if you have a little bit of white, you can give it these little white marks there as well. And I'm just going to come a little bit closer so that I can show you how to start. We've done lots this week. In fact, last week, today is only Monday. We've done lots over the last few tutorials about shaping. And this one here is also about shaping a 3D shape. Hi Pat, that's Pat from the Grands on the Make. Can't work out how to change, is it Anon? Anyway, I know you, Pat. It's really lovely to see you. And yes, of course, you know lots about bees, because we sponsored you last year when you were making zillions of the bees. And that's right. And what did you? Today we were showing how to make these at London XL. A year ago today, of course, yeah. Today you wouldn't be showing that at all. You would be showing how to make personal protective equipment, perhaps, but not bees. Anyway, so here is our red wool. It doesn't really matter whether you take a large amount or a small amount. You make the size however you want to. But if you want to make a ladybird of about that size, then maybe 2 to 3 grams of wool will be enough. And as before, you roll this into sort of a round shape like that. Roll it in, and then tease the last few fibers out, so you get as many rounds in there to roll this over the shape as you can. And then just mind your fingers and stab those last wispy ends into the main shape. So that has now secured the shape. It's not a particularly neat shape of any kind, but it has just made sure that that you've got it close and it doesn't just pop open. So now you can work on the whole of the shape by stabbing it. And these ladybirds, they're quite solidly stabbed. And because we attach a lot of detail on there, it's a good idea to make them a nice solid shape. So I'm giving these a few stabs. What is going on here? Oh yes, thank you, Emma, for linking the Ladybird tutorial. Of course, that's also on our website as a free tutorial. Did anybody see my announcement on Facebook today? I did a live Facebook announcement. Did anybody see that? Hope you did. So if you want to speed up your needle felting, You can use 2 needles just side by side. I'm just holding them literally. Is that camera gonna get a bit clearer? Hold it still and it might adjust. Looks a bit, yeah, it looks a bit blurry. But anyway, you can hold 2 and stab them in there. And that will speed your work up a little bit more. So all I'm doing at the moment is I'm just shaping the red ball or oblong shape that I've got here, so that it firms up and becomes a nice solid piece of felt. And if you've never seen needle felting before, it is literally the stubbing of the needle with a specialist needle into the wool to tangle up the fibers. And where you stub the needle is where the reduction takes place. That means that you're making this shape smaller all the while that you're stubbing into it. And when we add details, then you stub a lot more superficial, whereas at the moment I am stubbing right into the center because I want to make the whole shape nice and firm. And I think it's still not too late to enter the competition on the Facebook page called Needle Felting UK, which is run by lovely Sarah Brown. And if you do it, I think it runs until this week, Wednesday. If you want to win yourself a big bag of 8 color rainbow wool bats and one of our earth-friendly needle felting mats that way round. These are amazing. We sell so many of them. We're struggling actually to keep ordering them in, but they're absolutely amazing. They're indestructible. They are totally environmentally friendly. The top one is compostable, but so far we haven't even found anybody yet who had to dispose of theirs despite stabbing and stabbing and stabbing. And you also get a tube with 6 needles, 2 medium, 2 fine, 2 coarse. They are all marked at the top so that they're color coded, and on the outside of the tube it tells you what color is which size. And then you can win yourself this, and the theme is heartwarming. So if you have a lovely picture of something that is needle felted or felted that is heartwarming, then just post that on that particular competition on the group, the Needle Felting UK group, and you can win yourself those 3 items. And Sarah will give you a number, and then it's just a lucky draw. So that's how it works. We also always have competition goings, especially if you're one of our subscribers, whether it is our surprise subscription box. I can't ever talk too much about it because it's a surprise. It's meant to be a surprise, but I can tell you that this month's theme is April showers. The surprise boxes do not come with any instructions. They come with surprise fibers, something that's new that nobody else has seen yet, and it sort of sets a theme, just so that you can maybe think of something to do with it. So also gives you a little bit of an idea what colors might be in there. Last month I am pretty certain it was called daffodil, so you can imagine there were lots of yellows and orange and green in there to make daffodils, if you like, or anything else that has got those colors in it. And then also you for this April showers we've put some really lovely different texture fibers in there. And I think the next one of the next one is going to be themed sweet shop potentially, so lots of nice colors in there as well. Now what's going on here? Oh, you saw the Facebook thing. Oh, brilliant. Thank you for was that okay? Excellent. It's so much easier to do a Facebook live stream than this wretched YouTube one. If yes, it's definitely easier. So now I've got a nice firm shape. I can sort of squish it still, but it doesn't sort of like completely, doesn't feel so fluffy anymore. And now I'm going to start coloring it in. For that I'm using a little bit of black, and I'm making the head of the ladybird by just laying the wool over there and stabbing it in. So I want a nice neat edge where the black meets the red, and then I'm folding it under so that it covers the front of that little ladybird. Ladybird, they're such happy they make me so happy to see ladybirds. They're such a nice they're so nice to see them at the beginning of summer, and I think occasionally we get to a deficit of ladybirds, and then I don't know, has anybody ever gone to the beach? And there were absolutely zillions of them, and they all seem to be flying into the sea, which seems a silly thing to do. But I don't really know why they do that. Has anybody ever seen that? So you can see I've added a little bit of black over the top. It still shows a bit of red, so I'm going over it again. And I've got Totty here who's desperately trying to get out of that box, so I'm going to let her say hello again. There, she's also just done a massive wee. Thank you, Totty, that's really helpful. There, little Totty, she can watch. She's probably going to try and crawl all over the table now. But I'll stop her before she throws herself off it. There you go. So I'm still adding that black head onto the ladybird. I'm not so worried how it looks underneath at the moment, because that kind of probably won't even be visible. But add a little bit more black there. There you go. She's making her way across the book now. I'm just thinking what other animal I can bring in from home. It's going to be difficult because obviously I'm not filming this from home. I'm filming this from our workshop, and we do have lots of animals. We have got ferrets, but my love ends there, I'm afraid. Again, my daughter loves them, but they really do smell, and they also bite. Well, they bite me anyway, and they don't seem to bite her. So now my ladybird has a little black head, and now I'm going to put a black stripe over the back, and I'm going to pre-shape that stripe by twizzling the black wool into a strand like that. And I'm just gonna twizzle it between my fingers to make it. Doesn't matter if it's a bit too long, it's better if it's too long than too short. And all I'm doing now is I'm adding that over the back of the ladybird. So I stab that in there. There you go. Put that in there. How's everybody's weekend been? Have you been good and stayed at home? Hope you have. We went out for an hour yesterday on our bikes, and just from our house straight into the forest. And I don't know if anybody saw these amazing pictures of the Highland cow that I put on my personal Facebook page. Oh my goodness, they were so lovely. I wanted to take them home. They were really lovely. I think Totty is now sulking in the corner here. Want to turn around and look at us? Right, there we go. Added that black stripe, so now you can see why we needed to make it nice and firm, so that that black doesn't suddenly disappear into the red. And now we're going to start adding the black spots. Now we're making a 7-spotted ladybird. I didn't know this, but often ladybirds, well, in fact most ladybirds, they have uneven numbers. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just twizzling a little bit of black in my finger to make a little tiny little ball. And the first spot I'm putting is right here, where the head meets the body and where that stripe is attached. That's the first spot. And then I'm going to put another spot, and it's important to sort of get the quantity right, so that you've got the right amount for the next one. And the next one is going right here in the center of the ladybird. This is where you've got to watch your finger, especially if you're making tiny ladybirds. Be a real challenge to make a life-size ladybird. There you go. And then you make another spot exactly opposite. So put it on the other side. Again, trying to make this as symmetrical as you possibly can manage. So try and make the spot the same size. My second spot is a little bit smaller, so I'm just going to add a tiny bit more black into it. And then I'm going to add the next 4 spots. So I've got 3 spots now. If you have a hairy wool like this one, I can see there's some big hairs sticking out. I'm just going to cut them off rather than trying to felt them in there. And then I'm going to put little, the same again, little spot here, one on each side of the one that you did on the top. Totty, do you want some foodie? See, where's your... I've tried to give her a salad leaf, but she doesn't seem to be very hungry. Yeah, want some food? No, it's the funniest thing when they eat, because they've got these big mouths and they have no teeth, but they've got this this sort of triangular shaped top jaw, and that's how they bite into things. And yeah, it's really quite funny to watch them do that, but she's probably not going to do it. It's all a bit unfamiliar for her today. Right, here we go. That's the second spot, and then I've just got to repeat that on the other side. I think they're just such lovely things to make, and children love them. Imagine you make little ladybirds for children to put in their pockets. So the Highland cow, by the way, Donna, they're just walking around free in the Forest of Dean. So, and I've never seen a black one, so that was quite nice. And they were very, very curious. One kept licking my leg. I had like cycling shorts on, and the other one kept licking the children's bikes. They had to put them on the ground to say hello to the Highland cow, and then when they got back, they had like slobbery handlebars, which was quite funny. It didn't happen to me. I never let go of my bike. But yeah, I thought that was very funny. They thought it was funny too, thankfully. Right, so I'm got lots of fibers going on here I don't want, so I'm just trimming them off, because ladybirds are not really sort of furry. They're quite... where are you going, Totty? She's pushing things off the table now. Let's put you here again. There we go. So there's my ladybird now. It's got 3 spots on each side, and then the 7th spot here on the top is right where the head is. And now ladybirds, they seem to have like little white features on there as well. So if you want to add these, you can, but it's not totally essential. I'm sure everybody will recognize this as a ladybird. But if you do want to do this, one goes next to the spot that you added on the top of the head, and then the next one goes to the side of that, and then you put almost sort of 2 where you imagine the eyes to be at the front of the head. There. So the main thing is that you keep this symmetrical. I think that definitely pays off to have a symmetrical ladybird. So you have the same distance between the spots, or at least as best as you can do anyway. There you go. And done. So I've used the coarse needle for this. And now all I need to do is get one of my magic brooch pins. These are one of these things, you know, when you're a crafter and you discover something and you think, oh my goodness, just think of all the times we had to sew brooch pins on when it could be so easy. And then once you've done that, you've got your ladybird at the ready, and you can pin him on you, number 1. There we go. All ready to be shown off. And you can make lots of them, and then maybe put them around the house, or pin them onto your bag, pin them onto something, whatever takes your fancy. Just tuning in at last. What an adorable project and gorgeous tortoise. Oh, thank you, Anita. You're definitely a well-familiar name for us as well. Thank you. Don't bring the spaniels. No, Emma won't bring the spaniels. It would be mayhem. It's like bringing my children up to the same thing. Oh yes, Sweetie Shop. So Emma confirmed that the next surprise box, this is May's surprise box, will be Sweetie Shop. Oh yes, it's funny, isn't it? Why is there suddenly such an explosion of ladybirds? Yeah, I don't know either. If anybody knows, let us know. So there we are. This is the little ladybird done, and now I'm going to start on the bee. Now the bee is so similar to what we've just done because it's almost the same shape, and I have got 2 different types of wool here. Now a lot of people I know love our this is our Portuguese Merino. It is a very short fiber, So it doesn't make a very, very strong core, but it felts down so quickly because it's already like almost clumped together. It's not felted, it's just so happens that it's got this really short staple. And I've also brought our brown milk sheep, which I don't know if you can even tell the difference on the camera, but this one is a little bit grayer, that's a little bit more of a rich brown, and the milk sheep has got a couple of white fibers running through it, which you can't really see if you look at it at a distance, but if you look close up, it seems to be having that. And then this one is that sort of more chocolate rich, very short fibered wool. So I'm going to use this one first, and in fact I'm probably the only one I'm using. And again, you can roll this into a ball. This works. This felts down so quickly because you can't even stretch it out lots of times and wind it round because the fiber is too short. So I'm just folding it up, stab it down, and with a bee, because you're not attaching such small, precise detail, even though we're going to put stripes over it, you don't need to felt it down so solidly. You can, however, if you want to. That's not that doesn't mean to say that you can't, that you're not allowed to, or you can't. You can do whatever you like, to be honest. And you can just see that my coarse needle, I'm just going to come in a little bit closer again. My coarse needle, this is a slightly different view, is actually almost too thick to fit into the Portuguese merino. So you might be better off with a medium needle, which I actually haven't even got with me here. What's this? This one is a bit better. So the needle actually goes in there. It's always good to try the needles. It's best to start with a coarse needle and then work your way down size-wise, because then you know already which one works and which one doesn't, rather than doing it the other way around. So if the needle bounces off and you can't push the needle in, then just change to a smaller size. On all of our projects, we usually tell you what needle size to use. Especially if you buy a kit, you get the right kind of needles in there anyway. And there we are. I've made a bee shape. The bees, they're sort of almost like a bit kidney shaped. So they got that bend or jelly bean shape. So I'm going to turn my bee round now. I'm going to stab it in its tummy a little bit. Remember when I said wherever you stab the needle is where the reduction takes place. So now it's pulling the two ends inward by stabbing it in the center there. Can you see how that has made it slightly concave? And now it's ready to receive the stripes. Now if you do a bumblebee, you might want to put darker yellow stripes on it. If you do, you might even want to do a wasp. Why ever not? Just use black wool and then these light stripes. If you do a honeybee, there are so many different types of honeybees, so you could maybe model your honeybee on a particular one. But in general, I'm going to do now 3 stripes because I want it to be a honeybee. So I'm stabbing the wool down. You can make these stripes really like a proper stripe, as if you've painted it on, or you can keep it nice and wispy. It's entirely up to you, however you want to do these. And I'm trying to make the head a little bit more distinct from the body by giving it a stab in front of that yellow stripe, so it looks almost like it's been attached afterwards, but it hasn't. And here it pays off that there is a lot of scope still to sculpt the shape. So the yellow stripe doesn't even need to meet in on its tummy. So mine here doesn't meet. It's literally just over the top, and then this part of the head I've felt it down a little bit more. And then I'm going to add another 2 stripes, and I'm keeping mine really wispy. Just a hint of a stripe there. If you can, it's always better to, in general, it's better always to use less and then add more if necessary, than pile it on and then you've got to take it off again. We've also got a bumblebee, a buff-tailed bumblebee, actually, in our Making Needle Felted Animals book. I'll show you a picture of it at the moment. I should have brought the big one downstairs. It's a really big one. It's as big as my fist. And let me just get the book out. So I've added a 3rd stripe on there now. Put that salad leaf where Totty is. Totty, where are you off to? She's heading off. Right, there we go. So the Bumblebee, I think, is quite at the front of the book. Let's find the Bumblebee. So many lovely projects in there. It's just it just doesn't run out of project, this book. Even if you've made some of them, there will always be another one. There you go. That's the big Bumblebee, and it is really big. It's probably, this picture is not even as big as the actual Bumblebee is, and it has got these legs, these added legs, and it tells you how to make the wire legs. And then I will talk in a minute about these amazing wings, because they're made from Angelina fiber, and I will show you how these are made too. So that's in our Making Needle Felted Animals book. There we go. Put that back here. And if you just want to make some very simple wings, there are so many different options. You could just, if you wanted to, just take a little bit of white there, like that, and literally tease it out there. This makes actually two. Tease it out, flatten it a little bit with your fingers, and turn it into a loop like that. So I've just turned this into a loop, and I'm not even going to felt it, but I'm just literally going to felt it onto the bee. That's one way of making them. So I've literally just made a wisp of a bit of white and felted it onto the bee for one wing. Just going to take that off. You can also felt the wool down. So this is going to be hard to show on this very stabby felting mat, but I'm actually turning it into a flat piece of felt, and then I have to lift it off, and a bit of yellow is coming off there as well. I'm just going to go into in fact I'm going to use one of these that is a little bit smaller so you can see it better, hopefully. There, I'm just making a flat sheet, slightly oblong. That's just another way of making wings. There are lots of ways of making wings. You might even have another idea. And so it's quite a wispy piece of felt there at the moment. And all I'm going to do is I put this in the center of the bee, and I'm felting it on in the middle, and it sort of naturally tucks it up like a little bow tie. There you go. So that's another way of making bees' wings. If you like the idea of making wings with Angelina fiber, like with this bee here, then these two types of Angelina fiber that we've got, this one here, it's heat bondable, and that's what you need. You need heat bondable Angelina fiber. This one is our moonstone, and this one is our, forgotten now what it's called, Emma help me, gold something or the other. It's really lovely. And what you need to do is you need to iron it. And we do have a free tutorial of how to iron Angelina fiber, but the idea is that you lay it out flat, and then between a sheet of paper, and then you fold the paper flat. I'm just going to go big again because I'm doing all this moving around. So you lay it flat, and then when you've laid it flat, and this is a pink one ready done, then it looks a little bit like this. It completely fuses at the edges. You've got the wispy ends, and then you're going to cut, either lay a template underneath it because it's see-through, or you can just cut straight into it. Can you see what a clear edge? You can literally cut wing shapes out of this. Maybe not in pink unless you really like pink, but you could just cut your wing shape out like that. And then you could needle felt it onto your bee. Let's just see if I can felt it on. Where's that bee gone? I've just made, oh, there. It's quite a large wing, but you could just felt it on. You might want to use something like that. Just gonna pull the wings of this bee. Oh my god, I'm so horrible. And all you need to do is add a little bit of the wool that you actually that you've got underneath, and trap the wing in that way. Or you could also glue it on. So that way you can add wings, whether they are flat down like this, or whether you do it the other way around so that they're pointing upwards. It's entirely up to you. And obviously you make a second one the same way. But that will be enough to just fasten the wing on. So you've got a wing on your bee like that. probably should be further up on the top of the body. You can also make angel wings. Yeah, look really nice. And we've got lots of useful tricks and tips, like I said, on how to make the Angelina fiber from a fluffy, well, it's not so fluffy, but from a sparkly pile of sparkles into a flat sheet, and then you can cut your shapes out of it, and there, you're all done. A lot of this kind of information is in, oh, sorry Totty, you need to just move your bum, she's on my book here, is in this book, where we tell you how to do Angelina fiber wings for bees, but also for, there you go, there's all the bees in there as well. There's the Angelina fiber bee with a template, I'm hoping, in there. No, not a template. Oh yes, oh well, it's a different template. And then there's also the angels that are in there at the front. I don't know if you can see that somewhere. I'm sure there's a template for an angel wing in there. I know there is. Come on then, where are you? Well, in any case, it's definitely there. It might be with the angel at the back. But anyway, there is definitely an angel wing template in there, but it's not rocket science. You can do this, work this one out yourself as well. So you need heat bondable Angelina fiber. We do sell it. We have got several colors. It works really well for dragonflies as well. If you're looking for this color, at the moment we're sold out. But we've got blue, we've got the pink, and we've got that lovely moonstone, and also that gold one that I can't remember what it's called. What is it called? No idea. You haven't. Oh, where's Totty gone? She's here. She's right here. She's getting a little bit covered in Angelina fiber. Just in case you haven't met Totty, this is Totty, our tortoise, and she's 5 years old, and she's warming up a bit, I think, now. She was a bit cold earlier, but they're such amazing animals, absolutely beautiful. She's never been on camera, so this is a first for her. Yes, you're a natural, Totty. Well done. Right, moving on. Earlier I showed some other bees. They're these, and these are not needle felted at all. And I always think it's so nice to have a project for little children to make, because they see you, I mean, I'm talking about really small children, 2-3 year old. They see you maybe needle felting and they want to have a go, and you haven't got, you can't really let them loose on a needle. And so it's so nice to make lots of these little bees, and they're so easy to make because you find, first of all, you find the cone in nature. This is from an older tree. You see lots of them in car parks, so you don't even have to venture out too far. For some reason, they're often planted in car parks, these trees. I think because they don't grow too tall, but they have a nice foliage. And all you need is one of these, and then you break off the little stalk at the back, and then all you need is a bit of yellow wool, there, like that. Tease it out, wrap it around a few times so it sort of sinks into the there's a word for it. I think, are they called scales? I've tried to think of it the other day. Little those little seed, those things that hold the seeds, there, just like that. And then you need a little bit of, now where did I put this? Oh my goodness, my desk, my crafting table is always so, here we go. A little bit of greaseproof paper. Everybody's got that at home, right? And even if you haven't got greaseproof paper, anything that's sort of slightly more delicate looking paper. And then fold this in half, and then you can make 2 sets of wings at the same time by cutting out an oval shape, so that the bit here, that end bit, was where the fold is. So now you've got that, and then you fit this into the bee, like fit it into the bee like that. You can either glue this on, or if you don't have glue or you don't want to use glue, then just use a little bit of a nice bit of sparkly thread and just literally tie it on. That means that the wings will point in the wrong direction to start with, but also it's a good way of finding a way to hang them up. And don't worry that it's pointing in the wrong direction. Just tie them on, because you can twist the bee wings round in a minute. Put a knot on it, so you've got your tie, you probably have to do this for the children, but they can certainly help you find the little alder tree cones. So tie that on, so there you go, and then put a knot on it so you can hang it up, and then once you've got it tied on, just make sure that the wings are pointing in the right direction by giving them a little bit of a twist, and you're not going to break it, I promise you. So this has gone out of the center, but there you go. You've got your little bee all ready to buzz around. The wings are a little bit big on this one, but you get the idea where I'm heading with this. And so you can make lots of these, use different color yellow, and have them all buzzing around. Everybody loves bees, and they look really nice. Lots of them on a nice Easter branch, or in the window, on maybe you've got a tree at home, you can hang them up. Right, so Totty's still here, in case you're wondering. He's wandering off. Totty, where are you off to? Let's have a look what else we're... Seed scales. Oh, thanks, Emma. I knew you'd know this sort of stuff. So that's what these oh, you can do big ones as well. I don't know what tree these have come from, but you could do massive bumblebees as well. Obviously use a lot more wool, and then go rounded there like that. Put a few stripes on it, and then you again, you can make the wings in the same way, and because they're, there you go, that's a bee, and then put the wings on there and thread the string exactly the same, and you can make lots of these big ones. They really look nice in numbers, lots of them, and for little children they don't need too much. Their imagination is still so completely full of all kinds of things happening that you don't have to worry about that it's not a perfect bee. They will love it. And so that's the bees and the ladybirds done. If anybody's got any questions, then just get in touch right now, because I can see you I can see what you're doing here on the comments. Let's just see if there's anybody else. Anybody else got anything useful to say? You've all gone silent. You've probably all left me now. Oh, you wouldn't do that, would you? And do share. Please feel free to share this video afterwards. It stays on YouTube, and you can share it around. It will stay there hopefully for a long time. And I just, every time I've been on live streaming, or I've tried to, I keep reminding myself what's really important for me on days where we're all in lockdown, and I've made a list of 12 things that I've promised myself to do every day, and they are nothing, they're not meant to cause any pressure, they're not meant to cause any kind of anxiety or another thing I've got to think about, something else I've got to do, something else, and if I can at the end of the day tick those, then I feel like happy and that I've done something nice. And one of them is to have a cup of tea. That's not so difficult. I have lots of them every day. Make the bed. I did it this morning. Walk or work out. So this morning I've been for a walk with the dogs already. It's actually not too difficult in weather like this. I was only thinking this morning, what will I do when it's pouring down with rain? Maybe ask the children to walk the dogs. But I try and do that every day. Hug my children. Haven't hugged one today yet because most of them were still asleep. Cuddle the dogs. Yeah, I've done that this morning. You have to cuddle the dogs because they sleep in our bed. You haven't got a choice really. Say something nice to somebody. I don't think I've done that yet. Laugh. I've definitely laughed. Take in the natural world. I did this morning because I went for a walk. Take one lovely photo. I haven't done that today yet, so that's something I'm going to have to do. Make something nice. Food or needle felting or something similar. I'm actually quite pleased with my very neat ladybird, so I think that I tick that one. Message one person and check in. That's something I need to do still, and make somebody laugh. Well, I'm always hoping that I'm achieving this by just looking like a clown here on screen. So I don't know what your list is like, but I hope. Have you posted your list? Have I posted it where? Not so sure what you mean, Pat, but yeah, just Just tell me. Oh yes. Oh my goodness. It just reminds me when Pat, bless you, you must have taught I don't know how many hundreds and hundreds of people how to needle felt these bees, and every single person made eyes on the bees. You can make eyes on the bees. Why ever not? You can do what you like. There's no craft police, and even if there were, they'd be far too busy stopping people going out at the moment. So just do whatever you like and whatever takes your fancy. And yeah, why not put some googly eyes on bees, or I don't know, put eyeshadow and mascara on it for all I care. But yeah, go ahead and give your bees eyes. So the next thing I want to do is just talk a little bit about the butterflies, but leading to it, now where's that nice box that I've put somewhere? Okay, I will find it because it can't be, oh, it's here. Just have to lean over, excuse me. Ah, there we go. So sometimes, or often we just talk about wool bats and not so much about wool tops, where actually the wool tops are a much more superior fiber in that they are a very fine, by the way, if you hear the door going in the background, that's our post lady picking up our orders today, Royal Mail. But these wool tops here, this one for example, this is an Australian merino. It's absolutely beautiful. It's so soft and so lovely to feel. And then we've got these space dyed wool tops, and what's really special about them, other than it's a rainbow, is that they're actually dyed in a very special way, in that they get laid out and then the dye is applied by section, and that's quite an unusual type of wool top that you can buy. Most of the time when they're multicolored, you see them like this, and that you can see that all the sections are side by side, and that means that the single colored wool tops like that, lots of them just get mixed. So this hasn't actually been dyed in this way. This is just a mix of different color wool tops. Okay, Totti's trying to go under this this basket now, so she's probably getting a bit fed up here. So we have lots and lots of these, and with wool bats it's quite easy to separate them. With wool tops it can be hard. So if you go like this, and I'm really pulling hard, you can't take it apart, because what you actually don't want to do is you do not want to tear the fiber. You're letting it slither away, and oh god, I'm gonna do like a slow motion of this because I absolutely love it when it comes apart, and it's like magical with all these wispy fibers, and they look really like in a fairy tale. Nice. And so that's how you tear them apart, is by really gently. This is our pastel rainbow, by the way, but just really gently pulling them and letting the fibers, look at this, letting the fibers separate. There. Have to try. I'll try this with my favorite color now, this one. There you go. Just very gently let the fibers separate, and it's just like magic. So nice. Look. Doesn't that make you happy? Makes me very happy. So these are wool tops. They are really special in many ways, that people use them for wet felting and for spinning and for weaving, because they make a really strong felt. They've got a long fiber. They're absolutely useless for trying to shape into a 3D shape, so I wouldn't make a butterfly, a ladybird or a bee out of that, or anything 3D shaped. I would definitely not use them for that. However, I have used them in making simple needle felts, and by the way, there are over 40 projects in there. I'm just going to flick through it this way, so I can you can actually see while I'm flicking this way, maybe there. And I'm trying to find the page. In fact, I look what you can see where the butterflies are, because it is a really by the way, sometime this week, I can't remember on which day, we're going to make these primroses there. And if you've made a bunny rabbit with me the other day, you can put your bunny rabbit onto the primroses. And that for that we're using water-soluble paper. So that's to come up this week. Oh, the roses, that's a good project to make as well. But the butterflies are... Okay, I'm going to have to look at it this way because I've gone past them. And I'll show you them. Because this book is split into seasons, so it's got to be in the summer or spring section. There we are. So for this, you just need 30 grams of pipe cleaner makes 3 butterflies. And then you need only 1 gram of Australian Merino, only 1 gram of this. Bearing in mind, we do sell these in 50-gram packs, so you can do the maths yourself. You can make 50 butterflies out of this. And then you just need a pair of sharp scissors, something like that. And if you want to hang them up, then you need a needle and thread, and that's basically it. And so what I'll show you now how to do these. So I've got my fluffy pipe cleaners. They work really well. We have got this color that we sell, but if you've got other colors, go for it. If you've got just too fluffy pipe cleaners, that's fine too. In fact, everybody's got probably pipe cleaners at home. You don't need extra strong ones. You can use any kind of pipe cleaner. Now I'm going to do something which you're probably going to hate me doing, but I'm using my scissors to cut wire. Yeah, don't use your best scissors to do this. And I'm just cutting it sort of roughly into 3. There we go. And I'm going to do this with this one as well, so you can see me there. Do that as well. And for this project, like I said, you don't need needles. And then all you're going to do is you're going to use your pipe cleaner, but first of all you need to use your wool. And I'm just pinching off a bit here. So I've got the thicker a strand, the more the fatter the butterfly is, obviously. Let's get a butterfly so you can see what I'm aiming for. Oh, there's one there. So I'm aiming for this. And what I'm going to do is now I'm folding in one side. So this is now folded into the center, and then I'm folding in the other side. So now I've got a bit of that looks like that, and on the back I've got the end bits tucked together. If you want the butterfly to be smaller, then obviously you're making a tighter loop. So then it would look more like that. Like a bow tie. Imagine a bow tie. So you've got this now, there, and then you can wear it like a bow tie. And all you're going to do is you use your pipe cleaner and you wrap this around the center so that the 2 bits are sticking up like that, and give them a twist, because these 2 bits that are sticking up become the antennae there. And I've just twisted them around a couple of times. So you now have got a contraption that looks like this. And then all you're going to do is you tease these wings out there, so that you've got 2 wings on each side, and that's your butterfly. And then you can put a string on there. You can also felt this down. For me, it's always a little bit of a disappointment when you felt it down, because the softness of the fiber, obviously it becomes flattened. And so it doesn't look as fluffy and as lovely like that anymore. If you want to use a single color, then that's fine too. Just take a bit off. Oh, look at that. So nice. I love this stuff. This is the stuff we're using for the fairies. If you don't know about our fairy box yet, but the fairy box is a subscription box, monthly. It's brand new, first time this month, April, you get to make a spring fairy. She looks like that. There she is. And next month in May you get to make, pansy fairy first. Pansy flower fairy. And then in June you get the forget-me-not fairy. I know Pat, you will like this one. So we're using these tops for the dress of the fairies, but to get them nice and voluptuous, we're actually using the wool buds underneath. So it's like a petticoat underneath the fairies. So again, just fold the sides in. So you pinch them in the middle like that. Make yourself a little bow tie. And then just use the pipe cleaner to make antennae. Give it a twist. And then just open the wings up on the side. Just pull them apart. So you've got a couple of wings, and they can be really fluffy. If you want to make a butterfly with antennae like these we sell these in packs of, I don't know how many, but lots. And you can make these antennae on the butterfly. And the way to do that is, let's use what color shall I use? Let's use a nice pastel color one. So I'm just folding the wings in, and then I'm using my pipe cleaner. But now I'm going to trap these um, um, did I call them wings earlier? I meant antennae. I'm going to trap the antennae into the pipe cleaner that I'm twisting, and I'm bending the pipe cleaner down on both sides. So all I've got to end up with at the top are the antennae. So they're literally there. I'm going to just minimize that a little bit because you might be able to see this better when I do it down here. So for this one, and also you can see Totty, she's actually gone to sleep. Totty. There, and I do this on the other side as well. So there you go, there's a butterfly there. Isn't that lovely? So easy. And then you can just thread it up with a little string on the top here. Show you how to do that too. Got this lovely lovely thread there. Got a needle there as well. And just put that into the top of the butterfly like that. Tie a knot, and then you can hang them up. Imagine you had a little look, you had a little decoration in the window or on a branch, and you have lots of butterflies. You can change the thread around so the butterfly looks whichever position you want it to be, whether it's flying more up or down. And I just show you how to make the butterfly again, because especially with the antennae, oh, I've still got one here. Use that one. Doesn't matter whether what color, what pipe cleaner you use. I'm going to use this black one, and let's make a rainbow one. There. You're not going to get all the colors in there, obviously, but I'll do my best to get the nice ones in there. Let's go maybe for the brighter colors here at that end, and tear that apart. There you go. Isn't that lovely? I actually need to take the screen off there. Here we go. Got my strip there. Tuck the fibers in one end, tuck the fibers in at the other end, and all I'm going to do is I pinch it in the middle. So I've got the nice voluptuous wings here on either side. Tuck the fibers in. Pinch my pipe cleaner around the center. Make sure it is in the center so that it's not a wonky butterfly. And then just put your antennae, trap them where you have your pipe cleaner. Give that a twist, and then fold the pipe cleaners down along the body of the butterfly. Pull the wings into the antennae into the position, and then you've got your butterfly already. Can split the wings a little bit to make it slightly bigger. It's not a must, but there you go. Isn't that lovely? How beautiful is that? And you can make so many. You only need about 1 to 2 grams. These are quite big, so they're probably more like 2 gram tops. But we sell these in 50 gram as a minimum. And if you go for a lovely, bright, colorful one, then you get a whole variety of butterflies. And I just think they're really lovely. So, hi. Oh, sorry, Donna, that you've got to go. I'm actually overrunning today a little bit. But also the other thing I do want to just say again, that if you've missed it from before, if you've heard it already, I do apologize. It might become a bit boring. This is our makers box for this month. The fox makes a big fox. He's really beautiful. He's just, yeah, I really love him. He's so nice. Look, isn't he lovely? Fast asleep, snoozing his day away. And next month it's going to be a fawn. It's going to be a bit smaller than this one, but still it's going to be a big one. And if you like the idea of our surprise boxes, then just go for it. Be surprised. We've also got a special edition of our lockdown pick and mix jars, sweetie jars, that we fill to the brim, 200 grams in there. This one is Awakening of the Earth. I think we might have 1 or 2 of the Cloud9 left, and we certainly have got the animal one. But there's new editions coming out throughout the month of April. So as soon as our stock runs really low, we'll start up a new style of these, and it's literally filled full with beautiful colors and different textures. And to me, it's a little bit like that's the earth with a bit of red stone in there. And then it's the green and the grass, and then the colors of the flowers of this time of the year, which is all the yellows and the pinks, and there's a bit of purple in there as well. And then the blue skies, lots and lots of big clouds at this time of the year, and even a little bit of a grey rain cloud in there, but we don't want to talk about rain right now. At the moment we've got good weather, so let's stick with that. And then as a final thing, our other project that we are doing a sew along tutorial is to make one of these two dolls. So you can choose your style, you can choose the red color, no, that's the blue colorway with the brown hair, or the red colorway with the blonde hair. You can have faces on both of them, so if not having a face doesn't do it for you, I know for lots of people it doesn't, then that's absolutely fine. You can do faces if you want to, and they are all in the book that has just come out. It's my new book, Making Soft Dolls. We have got these in stock now, and they're all going to be posted out this week. In fact, today the first batch has gone out, so if you want to order it, it's in stock now. It comes straight away as soon as we can turn the post around. And I think that's pretty much it now. So if you've enjoyed this, then share it with your friends. Can't wait till tomorrow. The surprise box is my birthday present. Oh, that's so nice, Pauline. Oh, happy birthday for tomorrow. Can't wait to see you again when we're all back to normal and our shop's open again. Pauline is one of our regulars coming for the now what's it called again? Sit and Start. That's it, yes. So on Wednesday at 2 p.m. we have got I know you tried to remind me what I couldn't remember earlier, but now I can't remember what I couldn't remember earlier. So okay, this is just getting a little bit crazy. So great makes today. Thank you, Diane. Wednesday, April 8th at 2 p.m. 2D needle felted flowers on water sewing paper. Thank you, Emma. Oh my goodness, it's just too much to remember. Oh, hi Rachel, late to the party. Well, you can watch it straight over again. Thank you very much, Pat. Lovely to see you too. And thank you so much for all the lovely comments. It makes my day because I feel I'm not on my own. And I think Totty has definitely gone to sleep now, so I will just lift her up so she can give you a little wave before we switch all of this off now. There you go. Totty was here today. She won't be here tomorrow because I'm not so sure she likes going on lots of outings, and also we've been told to stay at home, so probably should leave her at home. So anyway, this is all from me, Steffi from the Makers, and from Totty, and we'll see you again soon. Stay safe, stay put in your place if you can. Maybe you can poke your nose out of the back door and go in the garden, go out for a short walk or whatever you need to do, and then we'll see you again on Wednesday in 2 days' time. That's it. Cheerio. All the best from me, and see you soon. Bye bye.